What is up, everybody? I am setting things up still, so just give me a second to grab this here. There we go. I'm gonna do the Adam Cole thing where I bounce back to back on foot to foot, and then I say, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, NBs of all ages, I proudly bring to you this bullshit I do on the weekends." So it's time to talk about Collision and Collision adjacent things. First up, we got Samoa Joe. Can you tell what he's about to do here? Can you tell by the joy in his face what he's about to do? Here, we'll get to him. We'll get to him. Let's start over here with the boys hanging out backstage, being all shaven with their white shirts and black trunks. These guys all dress the same now that I think about it. Guys, how do you know if you're in a weird sex cult? That's the Google search that like Will Ospreay puts in after he watches any Death Rider situation. Hey there in the chat. I'm trying to make the chat bigger. Hi. So we got Jon Moxley talking about, Kyle O'Reilly, you're better than me at this shit, and I don't want to have to fight you. The thing is, he's gonna fight you and he's gonna beat you, because his whole thing is that Kyle O'Reilly has his number. And yeah, I'm gonna honestly just straight up and come and say it. If Kyle O'Reilly loses to Moxley, we're in an unjust society. What are we doing? I don't know. I'm personally not a fan of watching Jon Moxley wrestle, but I am a fan of watching Kyle O'Reilly wrestle. He's actually got me on his side. I was never really big into him, and then, I don't know, he showed some personality, and that's literally all it takes. That's all it takes. I'm looking into the camera because that sentence is a tool that'll help us later. But we got Jon Moxley talking crap, just going on for way too long to tell us that Kyle O'Reilly, could probably beat him because he's better at this. Which, yeah. Claudio's back there like, he is a better wrestler than you. I've seen. And then after he cuts his little promo and, he leaves. I say little, but he was talking for quite some time. Claudio steps up and we get like a car crash TV style backstage. Instead of like one match leads into the other, like in all ECW, this is one promo leads into each other. This is a great way to deal with your time that you have and be efficient with it. We got to hear several different promos off the top. It's not old school Collision style. I don't know what makes Tony decide whether or not to do one of those promo things to open the show, one of those promo cold opens to open. But I wish he would do them all the time. It makes Collision feel different. But this kind of gives those vibes, even though that's not quite what's happening here. And we got Claudio coming up and saying, hey, I got a match. I got feelings about that match. I'm going to do my dirt. And I believe him, of course, because Claudio is a man of his word. But then you get you get Pac come over here. Pac comes over here, talks his shit. It just kind of makes me think of like the Wu-Tang Clan, like in the studio recording an album, and they're just like, all right, Raekwon, your turn, jump on the track. And then Raekwon jumps up on the track. Like, if you dangle the microphone in front of Pac here, it would be incredible. Let me see if I can actually make that happen here. So you got your, gotta have his pop screen and his microphone. Put some lines in it so you know it's a microphone. Yeah, that's what I want. I want Pac. I want Death Riders rap battles. That's what I need. But yeah, everybody comes, they pop their mess, they talk their stuff, and then at the end, we get some clingers on coming here to join. They just kind of say, yeah, what he said, but for me. And it's so lame. But at least we get Marina being cool as fuck and hard as balls And honestly, Marina wearing this belt on her shoulder, it just, something about it just feels right, right? Like that looks like it could be the PNG they use for a poster. I'd watch this. Let the women fight in the Continental Classic. If it's straight up like a wrestling match, I don't see what the problem is. There's no interference. There's just grappling. Tony, put the women in the Continental Classic. Make it Continental Mixed Nuts. You gotta do something with these belts to make them feel different. You know what? That's what you should probably do with the national title. Let the women fight for it too. Do something to make it different. Because right now, the only difference is red sometimes. Red accents. We got that bit. What else do we got video-wise? Because we don't have, like, video stuff for all the stuff that happened. I would have went to AEW on TV, but I didn't feel like it. So I'm just gonna look at what we got here. Because honestly, the stuff that isn't here isn't really important. But we're gonna talk about what they have videos for mostly. I could have sworn my husband came in and saw this match, and he straight up thought, well, it wasn't a match. This is a straight up random car crash style beatdown that's just happening. My husband like looked up at this and went, is this not a match happening? And I did think it was odd that they like decided to go in the ring, probably for showmanship purposes so that everybody can see. But like, he pushes him in the ring. Why? You guys are having a perfectly fine fight out here. But I guess he's like, look, I'm setting up the chairs. I want the whole crowd to see it. Because those are black chairs against a black mat. And that'll probably make it hard to see for the audience in the nosebleeds. Also, this guy's shirt, incredible. I know it's probably custom made, but I would like one. I would like one, Tony. If Tony Khan made other like political posters with Tony, that'd be dope. Like I like Ike, but instead it's just like Tony's my homie or some shit. You know what? A Tony is my homie, like Jesus is my homie shirt would actually go hard. Because I don't know, something about him. Something about this little guy who's just like one of us. I mean, he's a billionaire, but he's one of us in that he's a fan the way we're fans. Oh yeah, we had I forgot to mention that Supercard of Honor happened. I am still kind of in limbo trying to catch up. I'm still very much trying to catch up still to WrestleMania weekend shows. I think the last show that we have to watch is, I'm trying to think, the Clusterfuck, which, oh boy, this video just from the beginning, either I'm gonna have to bleep everything or I don't know what's gonna happen, because this video is just gonna be, well, it's not really monetizable anyway, so I guess we're free in this episode to do what we want. But yeah, this beatdown was pretty good. I thought, I don't know what the hell's going on here, but it's kind of leading to more what I like to call FTR and Psycho Killer interactions. I like to call them Deep Rock Galactic, like those gnomes, those dwarves rather, that dig under the earth. Something about that team gives me a Tolkien dwarf from Dwarven vibe. They're just thick dudes, or dudes with beards. Like, you're either thick or you have a big beard, and I don't know, that just if you all in one group, that just kind of squashes you down into the Tolkien dwarf territory for me. And something about Tommaso Ciampa, he just looks fantastic. He's one of those faces that's perfect for caricature or for drawing. If you like doing figure drawing, or like, not figure drawing, if you like to do light and shadow drawing and portraits, Tommaso Ciampa has an incredible face for art. Which is why I'm kind of disappointed by the t-shirt being so lame. Like, that logo is great for a Titantron because it can be moving and fire can be coming up and you have like the, you know, aura and stuff. But on a t-shirt, it just kind of looks, you know, low rent. I don't know. We can do better with Tommaso Ciampa's fantastic looking head. Big up Ciampa, you got an interesting looking dome, brother. I'm trying to think, have we ever seen him wrestle with hair? Because if so, that must have been the weirdest thing, like, of all time. What else do we got here? Yes, we got the match between, I guess, the Lethal Twist. I don't know why they're called that, considering you had the Vanilla Baby, right? And then you had the Swirl. Okay, I see. Ice cream motif. Lethal Twist? That kind of sounds more like a mixed drink than an ice cream. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Also, Jay Lethal, leave them alone. Let them flourish. I think that he's not helping them in the flourishing department. Because this match could have been a swirl match unless what's his face is injured. Unless Vanilla Baby is injured. Because that would suck. But big up for him coming out here. So you got Anthony Bowens, and he's doing this new thing where they're like, screw the ops, says Will Ospreay. I want to join the Death Riders because flipping is too hard now. And Joe is like, you should have came to me for some judo. I've been doing this forever and ain't nothing changed. And he's right. Ain't nothing changed. Joe is still fantastic. The only thing he doesn't do is the like spinning tope that he used to do, which I feel like he can bust that out one more time. And if and when he does, I'm going to absolutely lose it. But Anthony Bowens is trying really hard to conjure a personality out of what feels like thin air. I feel really bad that he's not really doing much. And yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying, Chat. Chocolate, those mixed cones that like, it's a swirl, I guess. But I don't like it being lethal. That doesn't sound very tasty. It just sounds like arsenic ice cream. Damn it, Jay Lethal, you ruin everything, even ice cream. But Anthony Bowens is trying, but I don't buy this at all. He looks good. He looks fantastic. But that's like it. He did a really cool submission, I will say, at the end of this match. But I don't know, man. Something about him. He just needs to like go somewhere fun for like a month. Send him to DDP or send him to DDP, somewhere where he has to have fun with other people. Because I think that like he really needs something believable. Because I don't believe that he is super badass ops killer. In fact, the only people that I believe are super badass killers in the ops are Samoa Joe and I don't want to be rude and call him Speak and Spell because that's what Joe calls him. Shibata. Shibata and Joe are like, yeah, it's Shibata and Joe, but I don't feel like Hook's progressed in the ops. And even though this is only the second week or third week with the ops for Bowens, he doesn't even fit in like gear wise. This whole crew doesn't really have any cohesion other than they all wear a t-shirt that Anthony Bowens claims on Blue Sky that he has not yet earned. He has to earn it. But you know what he didn't have to earn? The right to wear his own trunks in this match. Shibata's out here, black trunks. The Death Riders are out there doing the black trunks. I guess because if the Death Riders are also doing black trunks, having the ops also do black trunks is kind of reductive. But when you usually see, somebody start in a dojo, they start from the ground up. So seeing him use the 5-tool player name and come out with his old gear, I don't know. It doesn't look like he's learning anything from Joe, really, except for how to have another tag team partner, which we know he's good at because he's a former tag team champion. So I don't know. I'm not buying this from Anthony Bowens so far. I'm really hoping that it clicks because I think he has a lot of potential. Now we get to Joe. Now we get to what Joe wanted to do here. So I don't know if you recognize this one. He hit a greatest hits just because he was like, yeah, Anthony Bowens is not very believable. And yeah, that was a match with Jay Lethal, so it wasn't very interesting. But all right, I got something to get you guys back. I got something to wake you guys up. Yeah, he's hitting back the old Wendy from WWE when he was stalking Wendy. I think this is great. That's great, but I don't know if it's going to do much in the way of making me want to see more of this angle outside of Joe probably having a match with Ospreay and then we move on. I think this storyline is pretty like, okay, we have both wrestlers have chosen their sides. Unless you guys are going to do a blood and guts, I don't really know where else you can take this. But they're doing a Stadium Stampede right now, so I guess this storyline just has to pick up and get interesting real fast because I am losing interest. Death Riders have that, effect on me. I like just watching Death Rider segments. I don't really like watching Jon Moxley himself wrestle. I like all the rest of them, though. Pac is probably my favorite member of the Death Riders, followed by Claudio, and then Marina, and then Danny Garcia. Wheeler Yuta is Wheeler Yuta. I love him being the whipping boy. I love him being the runt of the litter. But yeah, big up on Joe trying to get us back with this one. Thank you for trying to wake us up, buddy. Then we had a match where Sammy Guevara, for no reason, gets an AEW title shot. Why did this happen? Why is he eligible for an AEW World Championship if the man hasn't been on TV forever? I don't care what he's doing in Ring of Honor. I don't care what anybody's doing in Ring of Honor. That's not AEW. I don't care. Why did you get this shot? Like, I get that it's an open challenge, but Darby, you gotta have some respect for yourself. Do you know what I mean? This is, no offense, but like, this is beneath you. But because it is Sammy Guevara and he is the way he is, it ended up being a pretty good Darby match regardless because it was lots of violence. However, I do love the idea of him being the Spanish god but not being able to speak Spanish. I think that's fantastic. I think they need to go with that. I also love the really terrible mustache. I think punchable face heel is the perfect way to go. I think that he has what it takes to actually be on the main roster. If we can swap him for Anthony Bowens, where hopefully maybe Ring of Honor can bring something out of him, I'm okay with that. I just don't understand what Sammy did to get here in this position. However, we do get like crazy stuff in this match, like I said. However, I'm gonna give him some criticism. I get it, Sammy. I get it. You are loco. I get it. And then you go and do something crazy. He did that. He stuck his tongue out at least 4 times in this match. Keep it in your head, bro. Keep it in your head. I know people used to complain a lot about the taunt spamming that Penta does. Like, oh, Penta just taunt spams. That's Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara is taunt spamming Amazing Red. That's how he feels to me. And that's not bad, the Amazing Red part. Just, come on. You're already hateable enough. But this match was actually pretty fire. Interesting that they're going with the Darby is so beat up he can't actually defend himself because I'm tired, Renee. But, he's doing crazy stuff. And so is he. You gonna go loco again, brother? No, not that time. That time he just... Sorry. Oh, man, that was a spectacular pause. Look at this poor fucker's face. Oh, he's having the worst time. I'm sorry, Sammy. But this is your face there was pretty funny. No, yeah. I don't think he says that. He does tell us once again for the 4th time that he is loco. His favorite Pokemon is Lickitung. Absolutely. And I guess if we're going by favorite Pokemon, I would tell you that Darby's favorite Pokemon is Electrode because it does self-destruct. That or Shrubbish, just because that's how Darby dresses. That's like his fashion style. But yeah, we had that. We also had some news going on. I was gonna play some games later, but the stream started late, and I think I want to make games its own dedicated stream during the week. Oh yeah, I forgot the microphone was still there. I bet like people are gonna watch this back and be like, hey, you gotta get rid of that microphone. But what if, let me see here. I'm looking for myself. There I am. What if we did some fun stuff and I came over here to yell into the microphone? You know, we'll keep it there now. That'll be what we do for the rest of the episode today. All right, so, oh my God, Anna Jay and Tay Mello came back. I was kind of like annoyed that this wasn't one of those video highlights because, oh my God, Tay Mello's back. And yeah, Anna Jay is here too. But oh my God, Tay Mello. I love Tay Mello. I think she's I think she's an underrated wrestler. She is a gem that's ready to shine. And sure, Anna Jay is here as well. I think Anna Jay's my issue with Anna Jay is that she's the same as Anthony Bowens. There's some potential, but it's like, come on, where is it? It's like I'm poking it with a stick. Come on, do something. That's Anna Jay. I want her to like come into her own. And it's like she always does these things where she's like she wants to do more, but like, okay, do it. Do it. Go on the indies, tear it up, like show us some personality whenever you do get on TV. Maximize your minutes. Because right now, her personality is, I have a butt, but then you look at her tag partner and you're like, yeah, but so does she, and so does the rest of the people on the roster. Like, Sky Blue's not even in your stable. You can't have a gimmick that's, I have a butt, when everybody has one. It's kind of like the way I feel about Lee Moriarty, where it's like, I'm really good at wrestling. So is everybody. That's not going to do it for me. I want more sports entertainment. And I know you're like, go watch WWE. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to support that nonsense, thanks. I actually like the style of wrestling in AEW. The WWE style is awful. I just want more personality to sink my teeth into so I can get more invested in the matches. But I'm very excited to see where they take Tay Mello and Anna Jay, because one of everybody's biggest complaints is that the women don't get a lot of time. I don't see that. I think that if you're thinking about ring time, maybe, but like the women are all over these shows. Like if I went and pull up the women's roster, I can tell you how often I've seen the women's, you know, and what their storylines are. Because people are like, who has storylines going even? And it's like, I think you guys are purposefully like doing something else when the women show up. I don't understand how y'all don't see all these ladies. But I get it. You want more. But Tony doesn't have all the time in the universe. He has to, the ratio is kind of wonky. And again, that's on Tony's side. He can definitely get rid of some dudes and pick up some more chicks to make things a little bit more equal. But right now, the ratio's a bit skewed. The roster sizes don't make much sense compared with the time. I get that we get 4 hours of TV a week, but like, that's not anything. Like when you compare WWE, how much TV they have a week, they got Raw, 3 hours of it, 3 hours of SmackDown until recently, NXT, Superstars, sometimes they have pay-per-views. They had like these weird little shows that existed, you know, like WWE Speed. I'm not sure. I don't go there. I don't even go there, so I don't quite know. But they have so much TV hours that, yeah, you expect to see more women there. But I'm thinking, like, in comparison, how much women's wrestling are we getting in WWE? Like, this isn't a Joshi promotion, but I definitely understand some of the issues. Like, there could be more women's matches. And I think a big problem and a big part of that is because the women's tag team champions are two monsters that cannot be defeated. So in order to not kill the entire roster by having them face tag teams that exist, you have to just have them do squashes. And also, they're out there doing squashes and proving their domination, right? So you need them out there killing chicks. And I'd rather it be local women getting a shot and maybe getting picked up in these little matches. And yeah, there's like, their matches are short. I'm sorry, I don't want to see two dominating women take 18 minutes to put away a local team. That just doesn't make any sense to me. These women should be coming in here, not paid by the hour. Bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That makes sense to me. But yeah, I think Tay Mello and Anna Jay coming back is what we're gonna need to help bolster that, because maybe they can actually be a threat. Honestly, I think that the Sisters of Sin could probably be a threat because, like I said, they're around all the time. So okay, I pulled up the women's roster. We're gonna see what's some storylines going on. Let's see. Alex Windsor is in the Brawling Birds, who I see at least once a week. Anna Jay just came back. Athena's gonna be in the Owen. I'm sorry, but we need Athena on TV. Call her up. It's time to call her up. I think maybe you should do some swapping some ladies around. There's definitely some ladies that need Ring of Honor, and I get that Athena is your draw, but Ring of Honor is also, if wrestling happens in the forest and nobody's around to watch it, doesn't really happen. And I hate for wrestlers to be destroying their bodies and nobody watch it. That just breaks my heart. So I want either Ring of Honor have TV or just put it for free on YouTube like you had Dark. Monetize it. Bam. Run a ad for iDrink in the middle of it. And Tony could probably eat some of that cost. Run a Ring of Honor match as a pre-show match before the show starts proper. Why not? Sounds good to me. And you get a hot crowd that as soon as they come in, they get wrestling. They're like, yeah! Because I remember one time I went to a SmackDown. I went to a Raw. I think it was a Raw SmackDown Super Show. And the first person we got to see in a dark match was Mason Ryan. And we went absolutely bananas for him. You would have thought he just main evented WrestleMania. So yeah, I think putting Ring of Honor early is gonna help. Let me see. Other ladies, I don't know what's going on with Britt Baker. Diana is in Ring of Honor tearing up. Diamante's apparently teaming up with Athena now. I wish I could see more Emi Sakura, but she is busy doing her own thing. Harley Cameron is the light of the women's division to me personally. I think she has the most charisma, and she's doing the most stuff. She's teaming up right now with Mina Shirakawa, and they're doing stuff together where they're like having these storylines backstage with the Who Killed Tony Storm thing. Hikaru Shida probably killed Tony Storm. Is having a storyline right now with Chris Statlander, who's like, look, I'm fed up with all this bull. Kian and Maya World are I've seen them at least once this month. Jamie Hayter's in the team with the Brawling Birds. I'm not sure if either one of them are hurt or not, because I haven't seen them this week. I think I've seen them, but I think somebody is slightly hurt. I'm not quite sure. I have to figure that out. But Julia Hart just had a match on Dynamite with her Triangle of Madness Trios team. Thank goodness Camille's not doing anything. She's not on TV. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody gets. Because it's like, look, you could get a Camille match and the monkey's paw finger curls. You got Marina Shafir just being a force, just being terrifying looking and being around all the time. And being on TV all the time is huge. A lot of people don't understand how much standing around and looking like a badass will help you. And it's helping her. She has an aura right now. Mercedes Moné is on the way back. She's had some stuff she's going through in storyline. So I'm very excited to see her crash on TV. Let me see. Persephone is in the Owen, and she's bouncing back between Mexico and AEW. Queen Aminata just returned. Red Velvet just had the match on Collision. I'm trying to see who else is. Sky Blue is not just kicking, like she's not just on TV, but she's thriving. Tay Mello just came back. Whenever sometimes they do MXM TV, you got Taya Valkyrie out there being fantastic. Thunder Rosa, from what I understand, has a relationship with CMLL as well. Tony Storm was killed. She died. Rest in peace. Willow Nightingale's the TBS champion, who has a match at least once a week, sometimes twice. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, that's most of the women's roster I mentioned, and they're all doing something. If it's not in AEW, it's somewhere else. You guys got to understand that, like, some people like Thunder Rosa and Persephone have things to do elsewhere, and Mother Wayne is on the women's roster as well. But I think she's just a valet, and she's probably with her boy in Japan who's doing some Super Junior stuff. But anyway, now that I got to talk about the women of AEW, I'm very excited to see what happens with Tay and Anna Jay. Tay and Jay. Tay Jay? Tay Jay. Anyway, let's move on to the next wrestling story. Baron Corbin is probably going back to WWE, and I'm so fine with that. I am so fine with that. You don't even understand. I don't care, man. He doesn't do it for me. I love the Deep Six, but I don't want to watch an entire Baron Corbin match just for the Deep Six. I think he's great. He's great. He's a awesome guy, but not for like. I can see him going to New Japan if he was a little bit younger, but I can see him mostly doing the TNA thing. Go to TNA, build up some more reps. But the thing is that they're thinking, fuck it, let's bring him back. He's the Gingerbread Man somehow. He's a revived Gingerbread Man. I don't understand anything about that story. I don't go here yet again. But apparently you got a Gingerbread Man, a man in a outfit, doing his own thing. He died. Nobody liked this gimmick or character from what I understand. And now he's going to be resurrected. He had a funeral last week, and now he's going to come back. And that might be Baron Corbin. That was the rumor. That was actually something that's been tossed around the news sites. And here we go. Here we're talking about it now. It trickled all the way down to me. And I'm so glad to talk about it. I actually want to see how he does as the Gingerbread Man. Can you see it? Let's see what happens. I'm gonna do some art. We're gonna get arty with it. Am I even? Oh, wrong. All right, there we go. So he's just be the same, but more round, you know, more cookie shaped. You know, I can see it, especially that he doesn't have the long hair. He doesn't have to worry about He doesn't have to worry about that if they're planning on painting him brown, which do not paint him brown. Just give him brown ginger clothes to wear. Like a ginger vest with like gumdrop buttons, I think would work really well. Honestly, that's fire. If that happens, I'm not even watching it, but I'm on board. I'm on board. All right, Buddy Matthews came back. Not in AEW yet. He returned in an indie. Was it MLW? It was something. I'm sorry if I cannot remember the name of the show he came back at. I'm sure Meltzer will tell me if I scroll down. He attacked Donathan Jajak. So that's cool. So yeah, World Series Wrestling, which was on tour in Australia, so it's easy for him to pop in. He like lives there. He probably took the tube or whatever the equivalent to the tube is in Australia. Oh, let me get the gingerbread off of let's get the gingerbread off of our ginger, because that's some sort of like microaggression. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, buddy. I didn't mean that ginger microaggression. But yeah, he's good enough to go. So I'm clapping my hands. Like I'm slapping on my top of my desk like Judge Judy. Like, what? Bring him back. Let's go. I think Buddy Murphy is like another one of those. I want to say I just saw the movie, so it's in the back of my brain. But he's an uncut gem, if you will. Yeah, I really think he has potential. Can't wait to see him come back. Would love to see Rhea just like go fuck it. I'm going to AEW, because she'd be a draw. And you know how I know she'd be a draw? My father-in-law loves Rhea Ripley and wants to watch wrestling again just to watch Rhea Ripley because he thinks she looks cool. And you know what? He's right. Let's go back home over there. So we figured out what happened to Mordos. I was worried. I was like, oh my God, where's my boy Mordos? He's okay. You know what, actually, My little guy looks good in that empty space over there. What's perfect amount of space for me over here? Heck, I can even get bigger. I cannot be stopped. Okay. But yeah, I'm happy that it's just. I'm not happy that it's a visa issue. I'm happy that it's just a visa issue, because, you know, it could be worse. He could be injured or fired or worse. So I'm glad that it's just visa issues. I hope they get that sorted out, because I need Muertos on TV. I need him. Commander as well, but I thought Commander was injured. Unless he still is. So this is happening. I just saw this. This just popped up and I was like, what? All right. This is actually huge. This is what we need for somebody like Royce Keys, who is a little bit on the older side, we found out. Rocket. Sometimes you need to strap a rocket to a motherfucker, and he did jump ship from AEW and from a pretty decent push, because I think he was the only person in the ops that the ops was helping. I think in order to reward him for jumping ship, yeah, Rocket, give him a title match right away. Fuck it, who cares? There's no rules. And Royce Keys has, you know, the aura. This will be a good test for him. Hopefully, Gunther doesn't just slap him to oblivion, but I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Gunther is just gonna slap him in the boobs and just deflate his body, which is unfortunate, because I like the artist formerly known as Will Hobbs a lot. The next story we got is that WWE has some new video game title names, and I wanted to speculate with you guys on what that would be. So we got, they're trademarking WWE Super Scramble for video game purposes, which makes me think that it's something about it makes me feel, just because the word super's in it, that they're gonna be like weirdly shaped. Like, I don't know if you guys remember those old WWE games, old air quotes, where the finishers were really crazy and everybody was like, had crazy muscles and crazy proportions, and it was an arcadey game. I can definitely see that continuing on as Super Scramble. Also funny that they said, fuck it, let's use the word scramble, which is, you know, a type of match that we love in the indies. Well, I do. I am a scramble slut, if you will. Let's see what else we have. They trademark some names, like the NXT Global Heritage Invitational, which makes me think that it's going to be a world tournament, which is fine. That's cool. I think they had something like that before, didn't they? Like a world tournament. I think that was the Cruiserweight Classic. So yeah, it's probably a Cruiserweight Classic without the limitation of being a Cruiserweight. You just gotta not be from America, except for maybe one or two people who will probably win because they represent America in WWE. But yes, the other one is WWE Hard Hitters. It probably because I was watching baseball today. Damn you, Mets! One, you will see the wrath of the Yankees yet. But I think it's a WWE baseball game or some sort of WWE sports game. Like, oh man, you too can be a professional wrestler who's also a football player. Something like that. The thing that they could do, if they wanted me to spend money, is make Crush Hour. Make another Crush Hour. I will spend money immediately. Pre-order. Give me Crush Hour. And then we have Bayley expresses interest in TNA, which is kind of like a subsidiary for WWE now. So it looks like she wants to go and get some reps and then come back or refreshed, which is fine. I'm a little bummed that she's not going to go to AEW and do something really cool with Sasha. But who knows? Maybe she will. It's not like TNA is directly banning people from their company jumping and doing stuff with AEW wrestlers. But I can see WWE going, hey, if she wants to do AEW, she can't. Or I can see if she does do stuff with AEW and TNA, I can see WWE being like, you were in AEW, nah. But I think if Bayley decides to get absolutely gigantic fame-wise in TNA and maybe doing some stuff outside in like Stardom or going to Mexico or whatever. I think the sky's the limit for Bayley, and I think that she has the chance to do what Cody Rhodes did. And I unfortunately feel like, yeah, she probably would go back to WWE, even though things would be a little bit better in AEW. I don't know. I just look at how she was treated, and it's like, why would you want to re-sign with them? And then you think about the money, but then you're like, everybody's taking a pay cut. You sure you want to work there? I don't know. Whatever makes her happy is, that's up to her, It's not up to us. That's all we can hope for, is that she's happy at the end of the day. But yeah, that is the news. That is Collision. That's me rapping about Collision. There's probably some other stuff that happened on Collision. Let me double check and see if I missed anything. We do know that there's going to be I believe, is there going to be a 3-hour Dynamite this week? I think there is. That's another thing I should probably find out. But I think there's a 3-hour Dynamite this week because there's no Collision. So it's another Dynamite Collision hybrid. I was going to say cryptid, but that's not the word I wanted. Chimera. Let's see here what other results we have from Collision, just in case I missed something. Nope, that was it. That was the show. We also got to see Will Ospreay talking about how much he loved the Death Riders, and that makes me sad. It looks like he's made his choice, but oh man, am I tired of the, wrestler joins the Death Riders storyline. I'm over it, bro. Even the dogs are like tangentially part of the Death Riders, but then again, the dogs are also part of the Bullet Club. It's a lot. I really have to put together that wrestling family tree that I'm working on. That'll hopefully be done by Wednesday. If not, it'll be done by Saturday. We'll go over the wrestling family tree. But yeah, AEW was on fire as normal, and they continue to be on fire. And the world of wrestling continues to be interesting outside of the confines of kayfabe. As you can tell, I am starting to wear down. I am tired, so I'm gonna call it a night. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, and never ever trust Austin.